Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dharma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to share some basic informations related to tranquility meditation and vipassana meditation. So, the tranquility meditation will help us to calm down our mind and develop a good foundation to have an undisturbed mind. So this undisturbed mind, there are two ways. So one is that from outside, as ordinary people, we have to accept, we have to understand that outside behavior, our environment is very necessary and important for us, for a certain level. So once you develop a kind of tranquility meditation, you are capable to maintain yourself without getting disturbed from that outside world or the environment. Another thing is the inside disturbed. Sometimes our own mind can disturb us. So the tranquility meditation capable to shut down that inner conversation and settle down itself with your primary mental object. So that two ways. So the disturb can come from the outside, and maybe you are capable to find a good environment, location, but in case if you are not capable to change that outside disturb, then this practice will help you to maintain your inner tranquility state. And at the same time, we have to remember ourselves. In day-to-day life, 24/7, we are always have an inner conversation. That inner conversation most of time unnecessary. And it creates imagination. It creates unnecessary kind of lifestyle itself. So it is better we have self-discipline to shut down that, not to go with it that much. So when it comes to this tranquility practice, most of time we resist the situation and try to find the calmness or the peace. So remember, in this tranquility meditation, we don't resist. So as example, when a sound comes, if the environment is disturbed, sometimes you can resist and you can say to other people, shut down or be silent, or kind of like that you can say. or maybe you can put kind of like a earbud or something to your ear, but still. And the mind also go deeply. When you resist with something, it deeply create envy, disappointment, anger. So in this tranquility meditation, you have to develop that tranquility state without any resistance. So that is where you need kind of like the basic understanding about the things, about the very nature of properties. So when it comes to heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness, those are the very elements or the properties of this world. And we call it as the energy. So the very nature of the energy is moving and changing. So once you know that whatever you experience itself change, and that understanding deeply bring the ability for you to have an undisturbed mind. So that is how we going to develop that, deal with the environment and at the same time with inside us. Because once you know whatever is there impermanent, and your reactions going to be changed. Your reactions going to be different. Another thing is, when the sound come or any disturb arise, basically we try to take it as something solid or one thing. But in the natural world, there is nothing can happen itself, and there is nothing going to be separate from other things and exist independently. So now you bring the understanding when you experience something, you know, because when the perception come, when we experience something, what happened naturally, we have mental image about it. So that mental image, sometimes we make it separate from other things, and we hold it as a kind of like an independent event. But you should know there's nothing can happen that way. Always we experience things as a result of cause and effect, and there are many other things behind it which we can't see. And that understanding also will help you to not to personalize any experience. So if you are not personalize any experience, if you not separate things, if you not take things independently, and that also help for you to have undisturbed mind. So for now, remember these two qualities. One is, so whatever that disturb you, it can be a sound, it can be a sensation, it can be a smell or anything. It can be even your thoughts, mental image. Just know basically that what you experience is not permanent. Another thing is, it is not just the independent event. So that understanding become kind of like a shield. And for you to not to get disturbed out of the situation. And at the same time, it will help you to be with the primary mental object again and again, again and again. So rather than resisting, this is how you balance your mind with the environment. even within your own inner reactions. Another thing is that most of time when we practice meditation, we think, oh, I am the one who doing this. I practice. Or I am the one who experiencing this. So we personalize the outside event. And other thing is we misunderstand the process that happening within us. Conventionally, even though we name this as self, when it comes to meditation, you have to remember the very experience that happened within you. It's not just a person. You are your awareness, your recognition, your experience is the very result of this everything. So don't think, oh, I practice meditation, because that is what empower or strengthen the resistance. So when it comes to yourself, just know that whatever that as you experience, that also change. That also not permanent. That also not independently, separately happen. So now you go with the outside, and at the same time, the experiencer. You take the same principle to this experiencer. So then who is experiencing this? That very experience happen as a result of cause and effect. The whole process we take as me. So by the time, little by little, you will understand it, because according to the perceptions and the deeply, your awareness, your recognition change. So that means whatever you experience is the very result of this outside, and at the same time your mental formations. So without the connection of the mental formations and the perception, there is no experiencer. The basic level, the consciousness is deeper. It has a deeper layers, but it's still, just remember, for basically to understand this. So once it comes to that, you're not going to separate anything. That will help you to not to resist, because you take things as the very part of everything. It's like the water and the ocean and the land. Even though it's separately, you can see this whole has a deeper connection. There is no such a separation when it comes to the depth. The same like this everything. But sometimes what happens, we always like to separate the good from the bad, right from wrong, dark from light. And maybe we so attach, or we have the desire to go with the light, go with the good. But if you look very carefully, this all happened together. And conventionally, of course, we have to follow that the certain things that we have to be disciplined. But when it comes to mind, deeper, when you practice meditation, don't try to separate things like that. In very conventional life, of course, we have to behave and we have to separate things and we have to go with the conventional knowledge. But what I'm telling, when you practice meditation, in a certain level, when you observe the inhalation, exhalation, The inhalation or exhalation in a certain level, it's your breathing. So when it comes to breathing, when it comes to your life, you can't separate it as inhalation or exhalation. Both the very result of your life. Your life depending from the both. The both hold the power 50-50. So if you come to that balance within your own life, observing your own inhalation, exhalation, it will be very easy for you to understand how things exist in this outside world. Because when we always try to separate unknowingly or unknowingly, our own behavior can strengthen the other part or the other side also. So that's why when it comes to meditation, settle down, and rather than naming just by yourself, you're experiencing, and start to observe, go with the sensation and be with it, and have an undisturbed mind. That means have a very balanced mind. Just be with the sensation, and when whatever happens, when whatever experience, just take it as a part of it, knowingly it is not permanent and it is just not something independent. And once the mind capable to settle down that way, that very tranquility practice itself take you to the vipassana level. Because when it comes to the vipassana, you see things thoroughly, deeply, and without separation, that you take the whole process as one. So when it comes to that, that is where the mind becomes more peaceful. And as a result of that, you gain the equanimity, the balance. Not to hold, or not to have the desire, or not to have a resistance within anything. And anything you accept, whatever arises, anything you are capable to accept. So once it becomes your life, you don't look for something. You don't have a wish, oh, it should be this way or that way. So whatever the way it happened, you accept it totally, and you accept it 100% with the fully open heart. So as an ordinary person also, you can little bit practice in day-to-day life that. It's just not only in the meditation, or it is just not only in the liberation, just in day-to-day life. So then remember that advance yourself a little bit. When things happen, don't cry for things. Don't have the cravingness towards things. Don't hold it to the wishes. And see when things happen. And try to accept certain level. Because there are some principles people practice in the conventional world, and you have to ask. You have to go for it. So you have to gain something, you have to go for it. To gain something, you have to ask. So that is a very conventional way, and that is the way that you deal with the material world. If you want to be with the world, that principle may work for you. But what we try to do, we try to slowly settle down ourselves rather than go with this material world. Void the journey. That voidness, step back and settling down yourself is a different way of art. And for that, you don't ask. You just be. You just go for something. You just stop. There's a two different way of behavior. So Once you settle down that way, the deeply in your mind, that so far that you accumulated, that whatever the unknowingly, that all the junk, that all the information, that all the habitual patterns we hold as magnet around us, start to release. Because the power of it is the desire to becoming, go for it. Now you settle down. So once you have that power within yourself, you will recognize just being in the moment, bring the ability to develop the purification inside you. So that is what itself called meditation, purification of your own inner mind. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes and say Supat Deva, or be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. Already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. Into your right side. Downward. And upward. To all six directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy. Without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Sri Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paripunyissami Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bliss.